So welcome back from the break. This is Sana right here on Shobiz TV. And earlier before the break, we did some trends in the world of entertainment. And today being Tuesday, we need to discuss some health as well. And we've got something interesting for you, talking about sleep and how to reduce stress. So up next is our well-being segment. So this morning we are discussing how to get good sleep and also to reduce stress, something that really amounts to a lot of things happening in our lives, especially lifestyle related diseases. And to do us the honors, we have the beautiful Mrs. Edna AYENSU, who is our well-being guide right here with us to share some insight and trauma lights when it comes to stress and how to reduce it as well. Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning.
I like what you're wearing.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Okay, so this morning our topic is simple ways to improve sleep and reduce stress. And this morning, I know people attack me this morning because I have some family here that know my nature when it comes to sleep is not really looking bright for me. And maybe at the end of the discussion, I will learn a thing or two for that. But JK, take us away.
All right, so this morning, again, let me touch on the topic. It says that a simple ways to improve sleep and reduce stress. So let's just break the ice. How does stress directly affect our sleep?
So naturally, stress affects sleep. Sleep affects causes stress.
Okay.
It's a vicious cycle, like I would say. Yes. So what happens is that if you're stressed, your body has a way of producing cortisol and adrenaline. These are stress hormones. These hormones usually come into play when you are in a stress situation or you are in a fight or flight situation. For instance, I come into contact with a snake, and then in that particular moment, my body produces that hormone that I either fight the snake or yes. So in your stress situation, that is what is happening to you again. And this hormones tends to increase your alertness, and then increases muscle tension, and then makes you feel more hyper. So instead of you sleeping at that time when you're supposed to sleep, because you're in a stressful situation, all these hormones are just working in your system, so sleep will never come because you're just so alert for sleep.
Okay, and you know, you have conversations with some people who go like, Charlie, when I'm stressed, that's why I'm able to work hard. Like, they work under pressure and everything, and they don't take this whole thing. Let's touch on this side effect of we avoiding to sleep. What is actually going to happen? Because some people did them idea go feed they are and on that they are learning at night, working. You know, those who run shift, especially with head work, the health workers and other people find them sick. How do they balance all these things?
So for health workers, I can only speak for us because that's where I work. It happens that on our off days we try to balance the sleep, but it affects our natural sleep pattern because the body has its own alarm system. So if I train my body that at 7 p.m. I'm sleeping and at 5 a.m. I'm awake, it keeps doing that every day for you, even when you don't have an alarm on. Yes, but the very moment you're running a shift, then it distorts. So if you're doing an all no sleep, going to work, at a point in time you will break down. You realize that the person is all grumpy, the person looks puffy, yes, and then the concentration at a point will just go off, and then you realize that the person looks stressed, but he's trying to keep up in there, but it's not working. So it's appropriate that you find a sleep pattern for yourself. Ensure that you're sleeping appropriately. Then you balance it. But you can't keep say I'm nocturnal. So when God has created that you should be sleeping at night, you're just awake. It will affect your natural being.
Okay. Now let's get the numbers right, or let me say the hours right. How many hours sleep should a normal human being have?
7 to 9 hours.
7 to 9.
Yes, 7 to 9 hours sleep is very important for every adult. So if I get 7 to 8 is normal. 7 to 6, 7 is normal. But anything below that, it takes time before your body relaxes all those things. So if it doesn't get it, then it means that you're not sleeping right.
You're not sleeping right. Now, Lecha, I know when she was talking about the you said 7 to 9 hours. Okay. So for instance, my day like this, because latest by 5:30 I'm at work. It's something natural with me, which affects me even over the weekend. Sunday, Saturday, by 5 my eyes are open. And now you tell me to sleep this hours you're talking about. Can it be split or something? Maybe I'm taking a 4 hours nap. I wake up, I do my thing, then I come back again. A siesta, then I come back again, and I calculate, I go, okay, I've been able to sleep like 4 hours, 3 hours, and calculating the whole thing, it gives it like
no, it doesn't work. Even that, we'll describe that as an improper pattern of sleeping.
Okay.
So it has to be straight.
Okay.
So if I am sleeping and I'm waking up intermittently, then I'm not sleeping. I won't get the enough rest that the body needs.
Okay.
It's different when you're waking up to go and pee and come. But when the pee is continuous, then you're still interrupting your sleep. Okay. So it's appropriate that you're having the straight one. Or during the day, you sleep, you take a nap for a long time before sleep time actually happens. So like 30 to 45 minutes during the day, during your break time, just take a power nap. I call it a power nap, yes. So that it kicks you up and then it makes you more alert and ready for the rest of the day. Then when you get home, you can get your sleep. So if you know that you're supposed to wake up by 5:30, then it means that you should sleep early so that you can calculate and get your 7 to 9 hours sleep.
Okay. So usually when you've had like a very long day, like Jakey said, you have to sleep, right? Because but sometimes, some people, I would say even me, sometimes when I'm even exhausted, that is when I can't even sleep. So I had like a very long day, did a lot of activities, like I literally had a very productive day and I'm tired. I retire to bed and I can't sleep.
So it's called wired and tired. But the point is that your mind is still alert. At the time when you're tired, you get to bed and your mind is alert, your brain is alert. You're still calculating a lot of other things. I could have done this way better. I could have said this way better. I could have done this. So instead of you taking your mind off everything and then going to the sleep mode, like giving your body that sleep mode activation, you don't. You're either thinking about other things. So when the brain is active around that time, unfortunately, sleep will not come.
So what's the best way? So just take your mind off things.
Try to take your, so we advise that, you know, some of us have very active brain activity when we are lying down. So they advise that we journal all the things. You know, when somebody's lying by you, you try to talk to the person. Whilst talking, then you sleep.
Oh, yes.
Because you're sharing or putting everything off onto the person.
Okay.
You get it? So if you don't have that, then you document it. So you get a journal and then you're writing it. So whilst you're doing it, then it's relaxing the brain and then you're falling off to sleep. But before sleep, I'm on YouTube, I'm on
jumping on all the media platforms.
Or I'm watching a series on TV. The brain becomes so active. Someone like me, if I watch anything adventurous and I lie down, my mind is now going to create a whole new story for me. Sincerely.
Blockbuster movie.
Exactly. I'll create my own version of the story in my head and start acting it myself. So by the time sleep has to come, I'm acting a movie in my head. So sleep will not come. You get it? And then how will sleep come when there is noise in the room? So there's light here and then light stops. It actually fights sleep. And then the next one is that there's TV and then you're watching the telenovela. Sleep will not come. Or you're watching the situation, somebody's birthday or somebody's new dress on social media. It will give you pressure. You will not sleep.
Somebody's birthday. Some people are late to church on Sunday.
So you will be able to sleep.
Interesting. I think something that helps me to sleep is audiobook. So I go on YouTube and I search for audiobooks. I just put the phone there. So like reading it to me eventually.
Mine is actually when watching movies. I can sleep off. So the moment I want to sleep, I want to watch the movie then. So it can take me like a week or two to watch just a single movie. Just because I isn't sleeping.
She said that when you do that, your mind is active. So how is that helping take
sleep? Myself and dad. It's like a pattern,
yeah. Even with the audiobook, with some people it doesn't work. Especially when whatever is being read out is some people's brains. Okay, for myself, my brain really travels. I have that creative kind of. So the very moment I am listening to that, my brain travels. I'm picturing the whole thing. Sleep will not come. But with you, sleep will come. You get it? Like the whole place is quiet, and then there's just a normal natural sound playing in the background, I will sleep. But forget it if a pastor is preaching or there's somebody doing wake keeping behind. I'm thinking about the dead man lying there and all those things. Sleep will not come. Yes, so you have to find an appropriate environment for you. The ones we say are what science has figured out to be the right thing. But if you find out that when the TV is on, I can sleep, then you work with it.
Okay.
But ensure that it doesn't cut your sleep. It has to allow you to sleep throughout the period.
With the healthy bedtime habits, you already touched on one. Journaling is a way of putting you to sleep. Can we talk about other habits that can also help you have a good time?
So taking a warm bath. That's where we fight with the men. It should be a warm bath. Not when you come with all the sweat and the stress and everything, and then you fall on the bed. Sleep will not shock you. And then you have to be in some comfortable clothes. That's why our sleep clothing are loose and they're supposed to be comfortable.
But would you advise us sleeping bare naked before you get on? Is it advisable?
If it's comfortable with you.
Health-wise though?
Health-wise, it depends on the temperature in the room. So if your temperature in there is more than 18 degrees Celsius or less than it, and it's going to expose your body to a lot of cold and other things, then it's a no-no. But just get something that is very comfortable, that there's enough air going in and out, you get it. And then your bed should be comfortable. Because if your mattress is falling in, there's no way you sleep.
And the sheets
are dirty, or your cases are dirty. There's some stench in there. Then when your kids have run on your bed and there's so much sand on your bed, you can't sleep. Exactly. And then when there's light on, or light from the bathroom is reflecting in the room. So there's what we call the melatonin. It operates in darkness. So if there's that darkness in the room, it gives your body that relaxed moment. It's time to sleep. So your body is aware of we are going to sleep.
Dark mode.
Yes, but when there is light and light is reflecting on your eyes and everything, there's no way you sleep. And then noise. Some people have this herbal sleep teas they've been taking. But we live in Ghana. There's one thing my teacher taught me. He said that if you're teaching people something, it should be something local that they can all reach to. So if on social media, on the internet, they're mentioning lavender and all those things, how many Ghanaians can relate to lavender? Exactly. So take a very warm water or drink. And then if I say drink, some people go and take excuse me to say cocoa beverage, but some cocoa beverages have caffeine. Yes. So avoid it. So anything with caffeine will not let you sleep. And then some people believe that alcohol can put them to sleep. It's a lie. After the effect of alcohol goes away, you are faced with a real sleeplessness. So it is better you don't take it at all. So alcohol before sleep, and then taking a heavy diet. Tired you're expecting to sleep, your body is now going to process work on the banku. It doesn't have time to now process sleep. So it is very important that you don't eat spicy foods, caffeine, alcohol, and then heavy diets before you sleep.
But would you advise sleeping pills in terms of moments where you are struggling, you are experiencing insomnia or anything like that? Would you advise sleeping pills?
It's the last alternative. Because we have a lot of people who have become so dependent on the sleeping pills, and unfortunately gets to a point that it doesn't work anymore. Yes. So if it doesn't work anymore, you come to the hospital and we will have to kick the dose up, which is very bad for the individual. We heard about Michael Jackson's situation. Yes. So sleep pills are the last alternative, and they are given with very serious discretion, so that you don't put the person's life in jeopardy. Yes. So find better ways to get sleep for yourself than falling on pills.
Okay. Now let's talk about the types of rest, because you mentioned the power nap, like it's so refreshing. You know, sometimes you can just knock off within some
10 minutes.
and you're up.
It feels like a lifetime.
Yes.
But you check like just 5 minutes.
5 minutes or something and all that. Does it really help?
Yes.
Really, really,
it really
helps.
helps.
Okay.
And there are those days that it's really not sleep, but you're taking your system away from the situation at that particular time.
True.
So there's this stressful environment, but you have no choice than to be there. So you shut your eyes and think about a very calm situation for like 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
You come back, and then the noise around you is noise. You have a calm mood to go ahead. So people will be like, now all this thing that we are all hyper and you're taking it cool is because of that cognitive process you just put yourself through. You took your mind off the situation. So I always advise that even when you're angry or you're stressed or you're anxious, take a short eyes closed period, and then think about something beautiful, and then come back again. It changes everything. Or that period where you take a very deep breath in and out. So this breath is not coming from your chest, but from your tummy. So you close your eyes, deep breath in and out. Some people advise that you say, I'm breathing out stress and I'm taking in calm. You know, it speaks to your brain. Your mouth has that power to speak to your brain. The very moment all these things start working, you come back and you're okay.
You feel calm. And also, let's talk about people. Sometimes when I struggle to sleep, I just want to lay in bed.
Okay.
Although I'm not sleeping, I'm just there. I'm not pressing my phone. I'm not doing it. Just being there. At that moment where I'm relaxing and all that, what are some of the things I should take into consideration? Because definitely you might be lying down and then you start thinking, I go job or I go do this and all that. How do I let go? You know, that kind of thing. You need to pay this, you need to sort these things out. How do I psych myself just be in bed and feel calm about it?
So I always say that we may not have power over our hearts, but have power over our brains.
Okay.
So you decide what you allow into your brain, and you have to master that strength. So those people who go for meditation classes, yoga and all those things, that is what they are mastering. They are mastering the strength of the ability to decide what to think about at a particular period. So I decide that I'm not going to think about my worries. I know I owe a lot of people. I know I have a lot of responsibilities. But for this period, I'm going to think about what I wish for myself. So I dream to be a great person. So you give your mind's eye that period. Think about very beautiful stuff. And it has a way of giving you some sort of motivation when you get off bed. And sometimes there are those problems you've never found solution to. But that moment when you're thinking about something beautiful, the solution just comes just like that, and then you're able to. So master the art of not thinking about your problems, and then master the art of not trying to be perfect. So I want to look perfect. You're always on TV, so you want to look like that perfect being. You're human. So we are seeing someone on social media, and I want to be like that person. Believe you me, it could be a borrowed dress.
JK has been saying it all the time.
Of course. It could be a borrowed dress. It could be Kanta. Of course, you find some of the designers at Kanta. You get me? And the person is living Kanta life indoors, but outside is the best lifestyle. And then you're giving yourself that pressure. So when you lie down, instead of sleeping, you're thinking about somebody's, you get it, sleep will never come. But just take life as it is, and then everything will flow for you to sleep.
Great.
Stress.
All right. So now we've spoken about the adults. Let's move into the infants. It's a very key factor. Some kids really get stressed out. Like you look at them, you could say from school, playing the seesaws here and there. They come and they look drained and peeled. So what would be advice to parents how to manage the situation when it comes to kids getting enough rest?
So some of the things we suffer as adults are because our parents couldn't master to train us to do the right things whilst we grow. So I want to learn late, so my father allows me to stay up late. You get it? Then it happens that it has become a pattern for me. Even when I'm supposed to sleep as an adult, I'm unable to. So this is it. Let's train our kids to sleep early and wake up early. So if the kid is supposed to be at school by 7, and I wake her up at 4:35. She's able to read something, take her bath, and then go to school. But because I am watching my movies, so I will sleep at 10. And the child will also be playing now and sleep around 10:30, 11. And then when I can wake up at 4:30 or 5, the baby cannot wake up around that time. Then school time, that is when your baby is going to sleep. So the baby is missing the active period. And naturally, exposing yourself to early morning sunshine is therapeutic. So you missing it or getting the kid to miss it around that time, you're affecting the child. So let's train the kids well. They come back from school, take a warm bath, eat early, so that by the time it's 7:38, the food is done digesting. Give the baby a warm beverage to drink, and then put the baby to sleep. We see the white people trying to read the child to sleep. It's a form of calming the baby's, the child's environment. But here, it is the king. That kind of thing. And then you have no option than to run and go and lie down. And it's funny. I was doing it to my child, and I was like, but this is not what you teach the people, so why are you doing that?
You need to go hard.
I know, right? Sometimes they face the wall, close your eyes and sleep. But it should be in a calm way, so that the child is sleeping on a calm note. But you know, we use violence as Africans. Everything has to be. So we train the kids, right? And they take it to adulthood.
Interesting. But let's talk about anxiety, right? And its interference with sleep. It is a big factor when it comes to sleeping as well. Let's talk about anxiety and its role here.
So what is causing the anxiety? It is your brain traveling or something your system is unable to accommodate. So I have a big day tomorrow and I'm all about what is going to happen tomorrow, but I don't have power over tomorrow. It's causing anxiety. So it is the strength to be able to calm yourself and then take your mind off what is going to happen. God has got it covered. That's what I keep telling people. But let it go. Just prepare adequately and let it go. Because anxiety gets your muscles so tense that you're unable to sleep. So we ask them to do what you close your eyes and then try to speak to that part of your tensed body muscle to relax. So if it is your shoulders, you just focus on getting your shoulders to relax gradually. So you're doing it to every muscle part and then it slows down. Or you take your mind off it, just like listening to music, watching a movie. But it depends on what you're doing, because if you're watching an action movie, believe you me, the anxiety will increase. Yes, so build that strength of controlling your brains.
Okay, and since we are discussing sleep, JK, I want us to get more light on sleep paralysis, because it happens a lot, and I've experienced it. Sometimes spiritual people tend to see it as demonic, but I know there's a medical backing behind sleep paralysis.
Yes.
So as we're discussing sleep this morning, what really is sleep paralysis and what does it entail?
So it is, for the layman's understanding, it is just your body going into very deep sleep. So to that part of your brain that is not supposed to be completely asleep when you're asleep goes asleep.
Okay.
Wow.
So you go so deep, like you have a phone, you know that when you turn the power off, there's a battery that keeps the time and everything on, so that the time is still intact. But when the battery goes so flat, everything drains out. So it changes the time and everything. You have to reset and everything. So that's what happens. But as spiritual people, like you said, have their own explanation. If your sleep paralysis keeps coming, like it's more frequent, you have to see a therapist.
Okay.
There are people who really work on this. They're mental health people. Like I said the last time, we are supposed to be seeing mental health people, but we assume it's for the schizophrenic people, the, excuse me to say, the seke people. But in actual fact, we all have a trace of some seke in us.
Definitely.
Very true.
No, we all have
all
something that is
quite
seke,
abnormal.
yes, abnormal in us. Not like the seke, but something abnormal that you have to speak with a psychiatrist. And it is not expensive. We have to just see a mental health person, then they speak. Sometimes it's just a consultation and you're fine. So sleep paralysis, you have to see someone, they talk to you, they guide you through it, and it won't happen. Because some people's own is so bad that it has other dangers that they are exposed to during that period.
So when like that side of the brain that is not supposed to shut down, shuts down, when you're trying to revive it, is when you're trying to struggle to actually
to wake up, but
and it's like you can't even
waking up
talk.
doesn't come, yes. and you're
Jackie, have you been through
struggling.
that
Yeah, I
before?
have.
I mean, it's like
you're struggling and
then,
at night. I think it mostly happens at night where you try, like you're trying to wake up, but you know,
I see myself uttering some words, but
but
Sheila is close to me, but she's far gone, and I'm struggling on the bed. And
and even I think it gets to a point where it looks like, I don't know if like you're even struggling on the, you know, running or.
But you're not struggling because it's not visible to those of us close to you. It is just you in your system somewhere struggling, but we don't see you struggling.
oh,
You're doing it alone.
they don't see the action.
No. You're doing it alone. You're sleeping.
So you are in your thoughts.
So you're just
Trying to run. It's like you're
I think
trying
it's
to be
a
on the
topic
bed.
we
Wow.
really have to
actually
we'll
delve
delve
into. Really have to.
True.
Can it kill?
It takes some people into a long-term sleep, but unfortunately for some of us in the parts of the world we find ourselves, the person doesn't wake up for a long time, then the person is
But it's because of maybe that.
yes.
So
So we advise that you bring the person to the hospital first, because there are times that the person is asleep, but there's some brain activity, there's heart activity, there's mild, gentle, weak pulse in there. But I've had, when we were kids, there was this lady who usually had that almost every 3 months. And then my daddy can go and then pray the whole, like 2-3 hours, and he's praying, like, for her to wake up. It was until I went to nursing school, I was like, okay,
maybe sleep paralysis.
yes, but his prayer, because most of the time when she wakes up with all the things that my daddy was saying, or the songs he's been singing, so she wakes up with it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yes. So she wakes up with a prayer on her lips, or she's singing the worship song he was singing and all those things. So yes, that is why the spiritual people also have their part, and then we also have our part.
Because the recent one that happened to me, I was struggling to get up, but you know, for some funny reason, I don't know if it's funny, but something kept telling me, relax, you eventually bounce back. So I stopped.
But
struggling.
you getting used to it is also a difficult situation. So you would have to see a specialist concerning this one, so that it is taken care of. Because one day you may not be with a place where
you feel calm.
you feel yes. What if there is harm coming your way?
We're
and
able to wake up.
Yes.
Okay. Now we are done with our day. How do I set a better tone for an evening good sleep?
Okay, the best thing is to calm yourself before you start. So when I get home, like on a normal day, when you get home and you're done with supper, take your bath, and then, like I said, get a comfy clothing and slide in. But ensure that about an hour or two before bed, everything is calm and dark in the environment. If you realize that your brain is so active, please journal everything that your brain is telling you. Whilst you write, more ideas come. Believe you me, if you're a writer around that period, even though you may be stressed, some ideas will come up. So you only do your corrections in the morning when you're refreshed, but a lot of ideas will come up. You journal it and then you put it down. Avoid screen time, avoid your phone, your laptop, because those lights fight what we call the melatonin. People take OTC melatonins, but I advise that it's not good, because a time will come, your body will become so used to it, and you won't be able to use it. And then try to relax your system. So take in a warm beverage or anything less caffeine, and then less spicy, less saturated, all those things. And then some people say, I want chilled Coke. So glucose has a way of making you very active. So some people's energy drink is Coke. You get it? So if you're going to sleep and you drink Coke, believe you me, sleep will not come. Because your body will just kick up, because you've given me glucose, so I have to get up and then go and do something active with it. So you have to wipe that away. So a warm beverage, and then you lie down in a cozy environment. No noise, less light, and then your room temperature should be around 18 degrees Celsius for you, so that you can relax and sleep.
Okay.
And then no mosquitoes.
We've spoken about this whole thing, and let's talk about chocolates, right? And some people too like to snack on chocolate a lot, and I've heard that sometimes it affects sleep and all that. How true is that?
So there's sugar in there. I was talking about warm chocolate.
Chocolate,
yes. which is very good, but some of it has caffeine. So ensure that what you're drinking doesn't have caffeine in it, or what you're chewing doesn't have caffeine. But if you're chewing that and you're going to bed, oral hygiene is coming in there. That is when you see people salivating and then all those things. My daddy will tell you the lizard will come and kiss you.
Kiss you, yeah, he'll kiss your lips and bite them. Very true.
So it's advisable that you eat at least 2 hours before bed. So everything you're doing should happen before you go to bed. So it's a preparation. You prepare your system for the sleep. It's not just majority of your day, go and lie down or you're sleeping. When you finish eating, you're going to sleep. After eating a heavy bowl of fufu, sleep will not come.
Okay, but you know, let me do an example. My dad has a coffee he does and everything, and he puts him to sleep.
Like a routine?
Yeah, and like he's knocked off, like when he wants to have that calm relaxation, he takes that cocoa drink.
Yes.
But
that particular one?
Yes.
Does it have
I don't want to
caffeine?
even mention the
So
brand.
it's a brand,
Yeah.
not like cocoa in general.
No, yes.
They have the ones that actually put them to sleep, and he doesn't even put sugar.
Yes.
The natural cocoa.
Natural one, just
it goes
warm water.
yeah.
It's
And
bitter
then
though.
Very bitter, but Charlie, when you want to have
it
a good
doesn't
sleep,
always have to be sweet, my dear.
No,
So you see, the sugar is glucose, and glucose is for energy. And at that time, the energy you need is mild energy to
mild
sleep.
energy, yeah.
You get it? So like I said, the cocoa beverage is good, but some of them have caffeine in them. Some people take alcohol, which will not give you the sleep you want. So caffeine, alcohol, energy drinks, all those things before bed, it's a no, sleep will not come. Caffeine will not let you sleep. So if what you're drinking, just read the label, ensure that it has no caffeine that will disrupt your sleep.
okay. Let's talk about other ways of de-stressing, I would say, because when you are stressed, obviously you cannot have a good night's sleep or it's a good day's sleep because areas will all die and So what are some of the healthy things that we can involve ourselves into to ensure that we are actually de-stressing from stress?
The first one I always say is positive mindset. Be positive all the time. It gives you the motivation that everything is covered so you can sleep. And then have a good environment. Surround yourself with the right people. So if I am sleeping in a room where I feel that there's this lizard or there's this fly that is going to disturb me, sleep will not come. Or even if it's in the afternoon or in a dormitory, and I have this weird feeling that somebody is going to cut my throat, sleep will not come. You know, we have those paranoid kind of
thinking and all that.
So if all those things are happening, you cannot sleep. But cool music, sleep, the environment is normal, or you visit nature, or you just sit down and take your mind off everything. I say during the day, just close your eyes. Take in very deep breaths from your tummy, in and out. And just say, I'm breathing in calm or positivity, and I'm breathing out negativity. You're speaking to your brain. Just that short period, everything comes into normal. And then you're kicked down for the day. And then before you sleep till you sleep, just listen to very good music or just turn everything off so that your brain is not active and sleep.
Okay. Now let's even talk about, before we wrap it up, the BP patient, those with hypertension and all that. I've seen instances where someone walks into the hospital and probably the person is walking very normal. Then the health workers go like, hey, BP say now then they put you down, making so the person is walking normal and everything. At that moment, why do they try to calm the, like, I just want to know what's actually happening, because I'm walking normal, they just check my BP, they are telling me that the rate, or let me say the level at which the BP is, I'm supposed to stay, they are not making you move, they'll be monitoring you and all that. What actually causes that kind of thing?
So activity also increases your blood pressure.
Okay.
So if there's a lot of activity going on, your blood pressure will not calm down. But blood pressure, high blood pressure is a silent killer, like we always say. So they'll say that, no nam how, it's hypertension. Most of it is hypertension. So the blood pressure is so high, but the person is not noticing it. Just some little trigger and it goes a bit higher, the person falls down and is dead. So we advise that the sure way to know it is to check your blood pressure. Now when you come to the facility and we check and it's so high, we try to get you to sleep or calm down. Some people have very high blood pressure because there's a lot going on. There was this lady who would walk in almost every morning because she's had a very heated argument with her partner. So the BP is just skyrocketing. But the very moment we come here, you talk to her and everything, she just gives some short cry. She lies down. Sometimes we don't even give her any medication. She lies down, she sleeps, and then when she wakes up, the BP is flat. So it's just the brain activity and the tension and everything that was ongoing. So it's appropriate. Sleep is good for your pressure, for diabetic patients, for even healing. So person has malaria, has an infection, and the person has taken, that's why we give the excuse duty. Go and sleep. But person takes excuse duty and is now going to visit friends. You get it? Because rest is part of the healing process, not just medication. There are times that you have very bad headache. All you need is sleep. So you realize that when you take the painkiller, it induces your sleep. You feel like sleeping. You sleep and you wake up, and the truth is, it is sometimes not the painkiller. It is the rest you took that gave you the rest, the sleep you need.
Okay, so wrapping up, if you've tried all of these things, tools and materials, I would say, to ensure that you have a good sleep and you're still struggling with sleep, what do you do?
See a specialist. Call me, I'll link you to the right specialist. That's what I always say, because you have to build some sort of confidence in the person you're talking with. So if you go there and you're not vibing with the person, it even creates that uneasiness. I should be comfortable with whom I am discussing my health issues with. So confidentiality, and then the appropriate person for that situation. So see a specialist. Please don't go buying sleep pills, because at the time when we are supposed to give you sleep pills, if you're already doing it, it won't work. And then you put so much stress on your body, because you're supposed to up the dose, and then it's going to cause more harm than good to the individual. So see a specialist. Or as usual, call me your wellness guide and I'll hook you up.
Definitely. I mean, we trust you for that, so we believe in that. So thank you so much this morning. And viewer at home, if you joined the conversation, today we learned on the show that it is important that at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep is very important for your human body. You need that amount of rest, and you need a power nap as well during the day. And before you retire to bed, make sure that you are in a calm environment, and something that will just ease the tension for you is something that you should involve yourself into, and at the end of the day be fine. But if you do all of these things and they are not still working for you, maybe you should see Mrs. Edna AYENSU and she'll hook you up, like she said.
Or just follow me on my socials and then send me a DM and I'll get you sorted. Or 0244 959642 Health Verve Connect, and I've got you sorted.
Okay. Okay. So I don't joke with sleep, so make sure you don't joke with sleep as well. Thank you so much once again. So go for a quick time. When we come back, we still have more.